Brandon, thank you for returning and talking about Superman. I have been seeing so much chatter, I'll say, on the internet about success and failure when it comes to the film specifically. I think it's safe to say that you and I both hold similar views when it comes to not putting financials on a pedestal. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
So I understand that a movie or anything has to make a certain amount to stay sustained, right?
Mm-hmm.
But outside of sustainability, I don't care how much the film made in the grand scheme. And here's the other thing, it couldn't have been some big miss or else Supergirl wouldn't still be on track to come out next year.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn wouldn't be fast-tracking some sort of continuation of the Superman-Supergirl saga, as he's calling it. And so, regardless of what the actual financials are, there has to be at least enough success for it to be moving forward. After the open rolls, we will talk about what we think were successes and failures of Superman 2025. When I say success/failure, what I mean is basically what we liked and what we think could have been different about Superman 2025, because that's really what matters when we're talking about our personal opinions, is what we thought was a success and what we thought could have been different. Because I had a friend just today text me and say how that he wasn't a fan of this Superman suit.
Okay.
However, I'll say there are maybe two-ish things I would change. Don't love the collar, like the high collar.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a little bit of texturing that I feel off about.
Is it like the blue?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, there's just things about the texture. It just seems like it wants to be a little Man of Steel-ish, but not super Man of Steel-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I like the trunks a lot. I think they definitely break up the blue. I saw versions of the suit where it's blue top to bottom, no break between. It's like, that's
Oh
not
yes,
good.
yeah, him standing without the red trunks.
Yeah.
It looked like pajamas.
Yeah,
It looked like a onesie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I will say that was kind of one of the things I thought of Man of Steel as well. They did have to put some accents in the, I'm gonna say, mid-region
Mm-hmm.
to show some breaks, and then later on they kept splashing color a little bit more and more. But yeah, outside of, like I said, a touch of texture, and definitely the collar. I don't love the high collar. I don't hate it. It wasn't like, I could never watch this again. I've already watched the movie twice, once in theaters, and I'm so glad that it turned out better than I first was fearing, because everybody wanted to make all the noise before the movie started.
Yes.
But then I also picked it up from Amazon Prime the first day it was available, watched it again, which on the second viewing, I never had the same worries that I did the first time. I'd already seen it, so that was great.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing to worry about. And secondarily, I had nobody to worry about, so good times. As far as suit goes, do you have any particular opinions?
As far as the suit, no. I like the suit, and I think visually it works well when he's flying.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. In motion, I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, it just looked like Superman.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And it matched the tone of the film.
Yes.
You could see that it was trying to. I don't know if classic is the correct term, because there's so many renditions of Superman, but you could see that they were trying to uphold to a standard of what Superman.
When it comes to what the suit pulled from, the symbol is 100% clearly, no doubt about it, Kingdom Come, the symbol, right?
Okay.
The color comes from New 52.
Oh.
Because it's the only iteration where the neckline is so high, right? And so I get where a lot of the pieces are coming from. The trunks were so All-Star Superman, it wasn't even funny. Because oftentimes the trunks will look like a Speedo, whereas here they look like almost boxers. Definitely more shorts. And that's, like I said, it's very Frank Quietly when I see the design of the trunks. And so it's just beautiful to be able to pick it out and say, oh man, I see where that came from, and I see where you got that from. Now, do I think it's the perfect blend or mixture? Not exactly. There, like I said, I would have changed a couple of things, but I like that I can see where they got their creative direction from. Speaking of creative direction, speaking of pulled right out from the comics, what was your feelings, and let's just go right into the big controversy of the year. What were your feelings on Jor-El?
I'm glad that you brought that up. So I actually was fine with it. And the reason why I was fine with it, because of the Kents. It was, so I will excuse it because it seems bad, because the way, like...
Can I tell you why I love it? I don't just excuse it. I love it for two reasons. One, John Byrne did it in like 1984.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 83, 85. But in that window of time, when John Byrne was cleaning everything up and said, this is Superman's story, he had the message that was sent with him to Earth be a message of conquest. And why would John Byrne do that? And why would James Gunn do that? Because the Kryptonian lineage of Kal-El, of Superman, does not have any of our morals. Of why would an alien race think anything of humans? And this is a perfect segue to an argument I didn't have in real life, but I made a point to somebody to have toward their friends. I had a person show up and they said, oh, my friends are boycotting Superman. They're not going because he doesn't say that he stands for truth, justice, and the American way. And I said, so your friends haven't seen the movie? And he's like, no, they're boycotting it. I said, and you haven't seen the movie, correct? And he's like, correct. I was like, well, I have seen the movie, and here's what I'll say. Would you rather, and here's the way I put it, I said, would you rather me say to you, I stand for this, and then not follow through, or how about this? I don't tell you I stand for it, but I show you I do with my actions. Because in the movie, Clark Kent does stand for truth, justice, and the American way by living up to the Kent's raising from his childhood and not live up to
the Kryptonian way.
Exactly.
And
which
I
is
love that
conquest,
at the end when he has a picture of the Kents on the monitor.
It comforts him.
Yes, it comforts him because...
oh
man, I wanted to like
me
tear up when, and I'm glad. At first I was like questioning them keeping Jonathan Kent alive, and I was like, well, this is different.
Yes,
but it works so well with the story that they're trying to tell.
Well, and here's my thing: if you do it the right way, and what I mean by that is the heart, cancer, whatever the case, something Superman can't stop. If you still do it the right way, it's still going to be impactful, and you can do it in the second film, the third film, the crossover film.
Yeah, like in Spider-Man did it with Aunt May's death.
Exactly.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, it's been out. It's been out long enough. The movie's already been reviewed on the channel. But my point is, just because you don't do it movie one, doesn't mean it won't happen. And also, he's overweight. He's elderly. It's happening. It's not happening. But my thing is, those Kents. It's funny, when I first saw what Jonathan looked like, before watching the movie, I mean, but just, the image of the actor, I was like, man, he don't look like one of the Dukes of Hazzard. And he doesn't look like the Pa Kent from 1978. But I wasn't going to, hold it against the actor that he doesn't look like what I assume Jonathan Kent looks like. I was willing to just let it go and go see the performance. And the performance from both Kents, Ma Kent and Pa Kent just felt so genuine, especially given the fact that I come from nowhere, and these felt like people I could know.
And it's the heart of the film.
Yes.
And I have, so back to the big controversy, and it's kind of funny because I guess it's so controversial that people believe Lex augmented the Mr.
President
Terrific.
or something from Baravia, whatever his title was was like, "Oh, good job doing that." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't do that."
Yeah, he's like, I couldn't even imagine doing something like this.
It was just there.
Even Mr. Terrific was like, no, it's 100% real.
Yeah.
It's like to clarify, like, no, this is them actually like saying, yeah, conquest, get as many concubines as you possibly can, so that you can
keep the line alive.
Right. And and I like that. You don't have to do what your parents.
Of course.
It's like, well, who do you follow? And then what it says is like, hey, he followed the people that raised him, the morals, the guidance, the things they raised him to be. This man that is good, and Lex hates that. He doesn't even really understand the reason why he is the way that he is.
I'll say this: Lex does a really good job of verbalizing his disdain for Clark. And that's what leads to one of Superman's best lines, is that, it's his humanity. And again, that's the idea of him not following the lead of people who certainly would not, and why should they care about us?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that all made perfect sense.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I looked it up and found out that John Byrne had already done it, and he didn't have the exact, like, it's not like him and James Gunn said the exact same words, but John Byrne had Lara say that he would be their ruler. And, it's not like Jor-El's like, oh no, he'll be their servant. No, he's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does make sense.
Yeah, they're alien. It's like, why would they?
And super strong.
Strong, yeah. It's like, yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like I said, I understood when people didn't like it, but if you aren't willing to do just the slightest bit of Googling to figure out that it's not like James Gunn did this originally, then it's like, nah, you'll be all right.
But it's like when we were talking, and it's like, oh, I thought I knew this character, but I really didn't, and it was Batman. Because I only read
that's true
one Batman story, and I guarantee you only a certain amount of people have probably really never picked up a Superman
I bet
comic.
you're right. And here's the other thing. There's a good chance they're only comparing what is to what was when it comes to film.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
that's a good argument there.
Yeah, I think most people will probably, it's like, this is not like the Christopher Reeves Superman. And it's like, well, no, it's not.
Exactly.
It's something different. But yeah, it's like when I think about it, it's like, wow, Oz is a comic book fan.
Yes.
You understand, you study, and you know comic books, where I think people have a like I like comic books, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I have a general appreciation, but I haven't sat down and read like too many.
For sure, yeah.
Books.
I'll be honest, ever since the channels existed, I haven't had as much free time because of whether it be planning, writing, shooting, editing. It definitely gets in the way of enjoying the things that I do like, but I like the fact that I have them and can dive back in when I get the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's also lovely to me that this Superman movie was able to highlight so many other heroes in big and small ways. So I think Millie Alcock's Supergirl, while having a super small role, was the perfect representation of what you can expect from her impending 2026 film. And it was the perfect illustration as to why Krypto was the way that he was. And so many other characters, whether it be Guy Gardner or Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, my goodness, I guarantee there are people who had never seen or heard of these people until this film.
Not Mr. Terrific. I never saw Mr. Terrific.
Legit?
Yeah, legit.
Oh my goodness.
I never even knew. I was like,
it's hilarious. I lent Aaron an entire run of comics because in the lead up to Superman coming out, he was curious about Mr. Terrific. I was like, oh, read these, enjoy, and I love being able to be people's gateway into new characters. Or new to them characters, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is he's literally top 3 smartest people in the world, right, basically.
I love when they said, oh, you can locate Superman? He's like, yeah. It's like, how? Oh, I put trackers in.
Everybody.
They're like, do you do that for everybody? Yeah, I do that to all my friends. And they're like, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, he reminded me of that show Scorpion, where all the smart people were kind of quirky.
Yeah.
It's like he might be the smartest guy on the planet, but he's not exactly user friendly.
Yeah, it's like invasion of privacy. It's like, I don't care about
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Your privacy means nothing to me.
Yeah. It's like, whatever.
But yeah, this is basically that actor's redemptive story, because when he was in X-Men First Class, he kind of got the shaft.
Yeah. And so supposedly Eddie was supposed to come back for X-Men Days of Futures Past, but they just said like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
it's not worth it.
yeah. So this was a redemptive.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought he did so good. And Nathan Fillion, man, I don't think he's ever not delivered when it comes to being a smart aleck, especially.
Yeah, and he at first I didn't know anything about him as a Green Lantern.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know anything. I thought he was going to be a bad guy from the trailers.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, he has a Green Lantern ring. Oh, he's going to be a bad guy. And I was like, this is going to be interesting.
Oh my goodness.
And then when I did research, I was like, oh no, he's actually. I was like,
So,
oh
you ever watch Batman the Brave and the Bold?
no.
So, it's surprisingly good. I avoided it for years because it seems so different than Batman the Animated Series. And now I can't remember who, but some friend recommended, oh, give it a shot, you'll be surprised.
Okay.
And I was, and so much so that I watched, I think all four, I think it was 4 seasons, in very short order. And Guy Gardner is very reoccurring.
Okay.
Him, Aquaman, and I think probably Blue Beetle are the most commonly occurring team-ups that happen in the show.
Oh, okay.
And Guy is, in that show, just like here, basically abrasive, overconfident, and, I mean, fun. Fun is just the best word for Guy Gardner. And, yeah, I really enjoy, I mean, I've always liked Nathan Fillion's delivery, but I really like how this running gag of, oh, we're the Justice Gang, nobody likes it, and then when he finds a new friend who's on board, he's like, cool, you're in.
Yeah, finally at the very end, he's like, Justice Gang. He's like, I like him. Yeah. Well, okay, I want to say something that I don't like about the film.
Cool, I'm ready.
I understand the title crawl, and I actually like it. I think it's not as big of a deal as what people are making it out to be, but I think that this movie, to me, because I loved it so much, could be longer.
Okay.
I think that this film...
Do you mean, title crawl, you mean the 3 years, 3 minutes, 3 months, 3 minutes, all that, 30 years, all that?
Yes,
yeah.
And explaining like, oh, Superman stopped a war,
Yep.
and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, it speeds things up so that you know what's going on and stuff happen, but to me...
Yes. If we'd have seen the stopping, you would have been a bigger fan.
Yes, because I just felt like this movie was so good that I wanted to stay in it longer. God, I like it still.
Same.
It's just...
So, my thing is, I will never, because I'd feel like a hypocrite if I'd said it, I will never say, I need this, because, as you know, when things get to 2.5, 3 hours, I'm like, I don't know, pal, my time is valuable. So, whereas I felt that, like, the 2 hours was, like, it was such a tight film, that I understood the choice. And here's the other thing, like, the slow and soft moments were really what did it for me. When that first shot that everybody saw where he was beat up and the lighting was low and they're like, why does the suit look like this? Why does the background look the way it does? Then when you see it play out and you're like, oh, this is a heartfelt moment where Lois tells Clark that, you know, she... Actually, in this moment, she doesn't yet get to the place where she's willing to tell him that she loves him, but you definitely feel that it's on the verge. I mean, he tells her that he loves her before he flies off to go save Krypto. But that and then the moment in Kansas at the Kent farm, I was like, all the slow and soft moments, I was like, oh, these are where I'm at. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the action shots, I like the fights and the teeth flying and the yada yada, but it's like all the soft moments are the ones where I'm like, all right, we're home.
Something else that I like are Superman-sized characters like Jimmy Olsen.
Oh my goodness, Jimmy Olsen.
Yes.
And his, I mean, don't get me wrong, this has been a trope in comics for years, but the execution of every chick that sees him is just like, oh man, do you see him? Yeah, he's so cute, you know.
Yes.
and then Eve wanting to spend all weekend together. It's like, oh, tell your mom I miss her. She's like, I love her as much as my own mom. And it's like, oh man, she is just so like she's cringy because she's, you know, selfies and you know, with Lex, but then anytime she's with Jimmy, it's like, oh man, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jimmy, like you said, awesome. He felt real.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this is, I think, so I've only watched the movie twice, and I've definitely seen Superman Returns, Man of Steel, and Christopher Reeve's films more, but as of this moment, I'll say, this might be my favorite Lois Lane.
Yes.
Because there have always been times, whether it be Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, or Margot Kidder, there have been times where I'm like, why do you even like this woman, Clark? She's kind of mean to you. She definitely sees herself as above it all. But here, and I think it comes down to the fact that she knew,
Mm-hmm.
and they were already together. I think that's really what made it special, because with her knowing and them being secretly together, you know, outside of work, it meant that no matter what was said between them at home or at work or out in the wild in an interview, you know that it's coming from a place of caring. And when Margot Kidder or Terry Hatcher or any other Lois was to say something cutting to Clark, I'm like, well, why would Clark even still be in pursuit? Because at this point it seems questionable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, no, I was a big fan of their dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, she was great as Lois Lane. I mean, it's kind of funny because she just, to me, is the one that has one of the most, like, personalities
Mm-hmm.
out of all the Lois Lanes. It's
Yes.
like, oh, wow.
Well, and not a mean personality either.
Right.
You know,
Like,
she's driven, but she's not rude about it.
right. She cares about the truth. She wants justice. And you see that. But she also cares and wants to go after, like, Clark to help him.
Yeah. Oh
it's
my
just
goodness.
not about Superman. It's
The
like,
literal team up between her and Mr. Terrific, that was top
oh,
quality
yeah,
stuff.
that was good. I didn't even, like, anticipate that.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah, one of my favorite writers, Andrew Clavin, in his analysis of the film, had said how that this was one of the few times where a woman in story, you know, is seeking to help, but the men in the story around her care so much to protect her. Because, like, when they show up, Mr. Terrific literally puts her in a protective bubble
yeah.
while taking out everybody else. It's like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Putting the lady first. And I think we've avoided this specific topic for a long time. But what was your opinions on Lex Luthor?
Oh, thank you. Okay. I like this version of Lex. You know, I've heard people had a problem like, well, why would Lex actually voice disdain to Superman and give him the reason why that he hates him? And I was like, no, that's Lex.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much, much more. But most importantly, the story itself.
Yeah, like he's egotistical. He
Yes.
doesn't care. He's
Yeah.
like
so many times, whether it be, like I said, New Adventures of Superman on TV or in comics, Lex has not ever been shy about his motivations. And generally speaking, they come from a place of wanting mankind to advance. Although here, it was presented in such a way as that I am the advancement of mankind,
mm-hmm.
putting him in such lofty places of Galileo and Einstein and the like. And he's like, well, the reason I'm okay with my name being stated with theirs is they're human, you ain't.
Yeah. And I love the gaslighting, like when Superman busts into his office and Lex is just calmly sitting there like, yeah, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And he's like, where's my dog? where is he? He's like, what dog are you talking about? And I love that he puts his mouth to the cup so that it will echo. And he's like, the dog Krypton here. And then he's like, what'd you say? And then, very violent. He's like, I got you. I just love it.
The news, when they were reporting on this, it felt so Young Justice to me because G. Gordon Gottfried was the character's name on Young Justice, but every time you would see a news story on superheroes, it would just be twisting and manipulating the tale. And while I don't remember this newscaster's name, it just felt so natural to the world because as far back as The Dark Knight Returns, DC has been using, and possibly before that, but definitely as one of the most prominent uses of the news to lay out the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the prominence of The Dark Knight Returns in comics, it has become very beneficial in storytelling for that to be a way to move the story forward, whether, like I said, Young Justice here in Superman, or even The Dark Knight when Anthony Michael Hall was the news guy, and Heath Ledger's character was using the news to tell his story. I was like, it's just helpful to have that to lean on.
Right.
And I love that Christopher Reeve's son, Will Reeves, was live in the field when the kaiju battle was happening. Because the thing about this movie, this Superman film, is not only can you see the motivation and decisions in costume, but you can also see the love and admiration for the past when it comes to Christopher Reeve by putting his son in there. And also, I am going to go off topic of this specific film and ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard the interview where James Gunn says that he would love to find a place for Henry Cavill?
Yes.
Do you know who I would love Henry Cavill to be cast as?
Who?
Bruce Wayne.
Ooh, okay.
So have you seen, and I suspect the answer is yes, but have you seen the silhouette of Batman from Creature Commandos?
Mm-hmm.
Could that not be Henry Cavill's body?
That could.
And now imagine, if you will, a world where Clark Kent is face to face with Bruce Wayne. It reminds me so much the idea of Batman the Animated Series when the world's finest got together, and it's where they look so similar. Well, it'd be funny if Henry Cavill was cast as Bruce Wayne, met Clark Kent, and here's the other thing. I think that his age is about right to have
an older.
Damian Wayne be revealed to him at 8, 9 years old, have a legacy of Bat Family. I just think that would be fun.
Yeah, and I know fans would go crazy for it. Joneson, or I guess they don't like the Superman because Henry Cavill was done dirty, even though he really wasn't.
Of course. Well, I think it was more Dwayne Johnson being presumptuous than anything else.
Yeah, it's like, the studios didn't have any. That was The Rock doing Dwayne
the Rock things. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, no, that wasn't the thing. But, we forgot to talk about the man himself, David Cornsweet, and Superman.
He is, to me, very close to Christopher Reeve.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is Clark Kent and Superman are portrayed differently, which is something Christopher Reeve was perfect at. You saw it when he wanted to reveal himself to Lois in film, and here you see it when his presentation, his voice, everything changes for the interview with Lois. And so, people already know that I have scored Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, and Superman 2025 equally. They both got a spectacular 6 out of 5 stars. And so with that, I give David Cornsweet credit for it. Much like how I never blame Henry Cavill for what is happening in his movie, I don't think that it's his fault. Like, he didn't write it, he didn't change the lighting. Right. Because there are so many shots we've seen, not in the playing out film, but in the special features and the whatnot, where things actually don't look dark and grim and hopeless, but he had no control over that. And everything that Henry Cavill had control over, I wasn't mad at. I'm not blaming him for it. Same here with David Cornsweet. What he had control over, his performance, so good. The care that was given to the character, like I said, to me, he's neck and neck with the all-timer. And the thing that will put him over the top is the continuation of this Super Family saga. Because why that I think that Reeve is still the measuring stick is because there's a lot of it to be measured up against. Mm-hmm. Whereas here, David Corn Sweat has one thing, and Christopher Reeve has a whole history.
Yes.
But the more he is presented correctly, the more I'm like, oh man, I don't know, maybe you are the best.
Mm-hmm. I will definitely have to rewatch the Christopher Reeves, especially the first.
The first two are the tops.
Yeah. I've seen the one with
Richard Pryor,
which is bad.
Yeah.
And, but the first two most definitely I have to rewatch again.
Yeah.
As far as this one goes, I'm gonna say this because of course it's only one movie, but David Corn Sweat's version of Superman to me was given the most to do.
Mm-hmm.
As far as a character.
It's like
saving a squirrel. And people are like, "Oh, why would Superman save a squirrel?"
He's literally saving everybody and everything.
Yes,
he saved a dog, saved a squirrel, saved all the people.
Before he fought the kaiju, he made sure.
He was even trying to save the kaiju.
Right, he made sure that everybody was safe, and it's like fantastic.
Yeah, that's exactly the way it's supposed to be.
And
to me, it was very reminiscent of how Christopher Reeve had literally saved a cat from a tree for a kid, because it's like this is who Superman is. He cares about everyone.
And to Brandon Routh's credit, that's what I felt that Brandon Routh, when he was finally saving Metropolis.
Yeah, that's true.
Where he was just going in, saving everybody before he got to Lois. And a lot of people kind of like ignore that.
Yeah, I consider him third best. Because, again, I think that if he'd have been given the opportunity to keep telling stories, I think we would be all looking at him differently. Because his redemption arc on the CW, my goodness, that was top quality stuff.
Yeah. And as far as, this is what I liked about David Corn Sweat's performance, is the heart. And that has to do with writing and the direction and stuff. But, like, emoting when Lex kidnapped the vendor.
Yeah.
On the street
it was the food vendor.
Yeah, the food vendor.
Oh man,
and Lex had him at.
Okay, I gotta say a couple things. One, it was a perfect illustration of the vile nature of Lex Luthor, that he was legitimately playing Russian roulette, but then also it showed his disregard for human life when it was the second trigger pull that did it. He was like, well, I guess I'll go find somebody else you care about.
Yeah. And it was
that's quality right there.
Yeah.
It just shows the dichotomy of Clark or Superman and Lex Luthor.
Yeah, the alien versus someone who is actually a human but is not acting human.
Exactly.
Doesn't have the heart.
Correct.
And that just like, I could see like that broke him. Because this Superman, you can see, actually cares about people. And that's something that like touched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that.
Well, I think that moment, that death, it's what allowed Metamorpho to realize that this Superman will not let me down, and he will save my son. So it was so well thought out.
I just like also that he inspired the Justice Gang.
Yes.
And that was like the whole point that I don't think people understand. It's like, hey, Superman inspires people. And because the Justice Gang at first was like, hey, that's not our problem.
Yeah, we're not getting paid for this.
Yeah, we're not getting paid for it, so we're not going to do anything. But finally, at the end, they're like, no, you know what?
Can I tell you my favorite part of that?
Yeah.
It wasn't actually Superman inspiring them, which what I love the most. I mean, because to me, that's just natural. That's the way it should be. What made me laugh and think, oh man, this explains the Authority 100%, is when Frank Grillo's character gets told by his coworker, well, I hope you're right that we ain't got nothing to worry about from these metas because they're now running the show. And when he said that, I was like, oh, that's the explanation as to why the Authority will be given authority to do what they please. And like, if it was me, and I know a lot of people are anti the modern age, but if it was up to me, I would do a blending of the Authority and the Elite.
Okay.
Because they've already done that where they put Manchester Black in the Authority with Apollo and Midnighter and the Engineer and so forth and so on. And no knock on the other members of the Elite, but Manchester Black he's the star of the show. And so if you just put him in the Authority, and that is Superman next film, or maybe that's the coming together film of him and Supergirl, where it's Super Family versus the Authority, or whatever you want to call it. Superman and Supergirl fight the Authority. Maybe that's a better name.
Yeah, maybe that's a better name.
But my point is, so his inspiration for the Justice Gang leads to the government giving power to superpowered, let's basically say, bad guys. And then that leads to the people. It's Civil War all over again.
Yeah.
Where Superman says the power being with us was the right place all along. Yeah, no, I think that could work.
Yeah, because that makes me like really intrigued. It's like, oh, because I'm only thinking
You've
about
seen
Justice...
Superman versus the Elite, the animated movie?
Yeah.
Well, we already have the robots. We already know David Cornsweet can perform, and so we could deceive the Authority into believing, and also you'd be pushed out into all the cell phones and all that. So, Manchester Black. Oh, that ending would be so great. In the now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good stuff because I feel like always what separated the Justice League from even the Avengers is, well, you have a spaceship in the sky. I'm just thinking about Justice League the animated series.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have the spaceship with a super laser
Yep.
in outer space, and it's like, can we trust these superpowered beings? And it's like, yes, because they are always good. They're always on the side of humanity.
Absolutely.
Even though Batman is like, well, yeah, I trust these people, but
Yeah.
I have contingencies just in case.
I love the Hall of Justice in this movie because it was the inspiration for the animated Hall of Justice, and it's here in Ohio, so it's.
Would you have so the Green Lantern's already going to be in there?
I mean, by next year we'll have 3 of them.
Yeah, Hawk Girl is going to be in the Justice League.
Yep.
Wonder Woman is already confirmed.
Yep.
But they just don't have the Wonder Woman yet. Would you have the Flash in the first Justice League movie?
Again, in my perfect world, you just rip off the animated series. So just do the 7 that you had in the Justice League animated series: Flash, Martian Manhunter, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Hawk Girl. Like that. I mean, to me, that's a winning formula right there.
Because they're gonna have Mr. Terrific.
Oh, you'll think he'd be a full-time member?
Yeah, I think he'll be. I think he's gonna be the new Cyborg.
Interesting. Now, so my presumption, and that's all I'm doing is presuming. My presumption is that if I was to guess, I'm guessing Mr. Terrific will be this world's version of not exactly Nick Fury, like, because he's not old and retired. But what I mean is, I think that he will lend his mind to help a lot of heroes while building his credibility to get himself his own film.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that's my guess.
Okay. Because I can see him. Nothing against Cyborg, but I think Mr. Terrific is something that works really well with James Gunn.
Oh, for sure.
And I feel like, yeah, he will be. Because once in a while, Cyborg is in the Justice League.
Can I explain what I would do with Cyborg if it was me?
Yeah.
Wait till Teen Titans.
Yeah, that's what I.
Yeah, just have some patience.
Yeah, just wait, because, yeah, but I feel like Mr. Terrific will be a part of the Justice League, but as like the Cyborg or whatever.
Sure.
Because he's already really good with computers.
Yep.
Like the third smartest person.
Yeah.
In the DC universe and stuff like that. So that's what I feel. The Flash is always interesting because I always feel like speedsters. I love them, and I think they're great. I always feel like, man, they're almost like a cheat code.
Yes, exactly.
And it's always
true.
hard to make them work because it's like, well, they can just slow down time and walk. It's like, physically, nothing should beat a speedster.
Well, and especially with so many times I've seen the Flash be presented as being able to move so quickly that even your punch can go through him, because as you're throwing it, he's no longer there.
Yeah, he can phase in and out.
Exactly.
He's technically faster than Superman.
100%.
So it's like it's borderline a cheat code. I felt like I would love to see the Flash, but I don't know if I would like to see him in the Justice League.
Interesting.
Right then and there.
Again, I feel like nothing is off the table
Yeah.
when this film did things the way it did.
Yeah.
Even Peacemaker was sprinkled into the film in such a way as to just feel natural. And so I am hoping that Peacemaker Season 2 is dramatically better than Peacemaker Season 1. Even the very short things that have been shown have given me optimistic feelings because Chris wants to be better,
Mhm.
and I wanted to be better the whole time. So hey, me and you are now on the same page. Thanks, John Cena.
And it looks like from the trailers, it's showing when he goes to a different dimension what Peacemaker would have been like if he was a good guy.
Mhm.
Like if he was actually a hero. And it seems like he's like, oh, I could have been this person the whole entire time.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's about it for me. I would like to see.
What's your final score?
Oh, I love it. I would like to see Idris Elba back.
Yes. So
as,
James Gunn has 100% said that he's bringing him back
okay, great.
at some point.
Yeah.
Don't know when. But so here's the beauty of the way James Gunn is telling stories. Now, I know what I'm about to say is going to be controversial to some degree, but James Gunn has said he's using the Star Wars method, which means the films don't have to be released in the order that they're happening. They have to be good, and then I will release them.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can get somebody, whether it be himself or somebody else, to write a really great Bloodsport Superman story, he'll shoot that and release it, right?
Yeah.
And so you can have it take place in that 3-year period. Because so long as David Cornsweet looks young, you can, say, oh, this story happened before here, oh, this happened here, type thing. So I think that's really smart.
Yeah, because he said, and I waited till the post-credit scene, and it didn't really have anything at all. He said that the reason why he doesn't do post-credit scenes like Marvel is because he felt like those post-credit scenes, you always had to stay locked in, and you always had to, basically you couldn't really be creative
Right.
as much because you were just locked into whatever that post-credit scene.
Exactly.
And I was like, I agree.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I don't think all Marvel movies need a post-credit scene. I think only a couple.
Sure. The reveal of Thanos was important.
Yes.
Obviously. But outside of that, most of them were not as pivotal.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And some haven't even been answered.
So, exactly.
Yeah. But
So no, I appreciate you. And this was great. I look forward to seeing what comes next from the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.